What does it mean to be a pre-med student? Now, obviously, a pre-med student is someone that's, looking to go somewhere in the healthcare field upon graduating. But what I really mean by this question is, what are the realities of being a pre-med student? What are the realities you need to face, you need to understand as you go through this journey? Because a lot of people don't know. I feel like a lot of people say they want to do this pre-med route, and they say this without actually knowing what it really entails and what it means to your life currently and moving forward. And when I say people, I'm really referring to myself as well. I was one of those students that, in high school, my parents was like, oh, you should go be a doctor. I was like, cool, no worries, I'll be a doctor, it's fine. And so everyone was like, hey, what do you want to do? I was like, yeah, I'm doing the whole doctor route, I'm going to be pre-med. Everyone's like, ooh, wow, we've got a pre-med student here, like, it's cool. I said, yeah, pre-med student, yeah, pre-med, I does this, right? And so reality hit me hard, is the point I'm trying to make. It hit me hard, and it hit me as soon as I got to undergrad. I realized, well, actually not as soon as I got to undergrad. Well, the realities hit me when I got to undergrad, but I didn't really settle in until like maybe my sophomore year, my junior year of college, which is very unfortunate, especially in this climate now where getting to medical school is harder than it's ever been before, right? And so when I was saying all this stuff, I'm thinking, pre-med is just something you say. It's something like, hey, you want to be a pre-med, why not take these classes and you become a doctor? No, you give up so much as a pre-med student compared to your other colleagues that may or may not have the same the same level of difficulty in their majors, right? So think about it. You're 17, 18 years old, first time living away from family, going into college where you can be your own person, right? No one's telling you what to eat, what time to come home, when to go to sleep. No one's checking up on your homework. No one's picking you up, dropping you off. You're doing all this on your own for most people, right? This is a taste of freedom. A lot of kids don't have this taste of freedom so early on, right? And so you first time most people get their taste of freedom is going to be when they turn 18 years old. And so when they turn 18, you have so many distractions being an undergrad. You're surrounded by a bunch of teenagers and even early 21s, 22-year-old students who are literally living life on their own terms. And you're expected to focus on that? No, my parents were strict when I was growing up. And so the very first time I got a taste of freedom, I'm like running around. I'm like, ready to party, ready to dance, ready to, do whatever I can to just be active and, stay in the loop with things. And being a pre-med student, as you can probably tell if you're watching this video, isn't really the most advantageous thing to do. My freshman year, to be quite honest, was nothing short of a disaster. Like, I literally did not know what I was doing, to be honest. I didn't know. I just figured, it's just like high school. I went to class and I just did my best and it was fine. I kept moving up to the next level. So if I was a pre-med student, I'm going to do the same thing, go to class and just, move up the same level. It's not the same thing. What you do your freshman year matters a lot, especially because most pre-med students, their freshman year, right, they're taking 2 semesters of biology. They're taking 2 semesters of chemistry along with labs for all of those 4 courses. That is almost half of the required courses you need for medical school. All of that in your freshman year. Think about it. It's not easy. It's to say that how well you do your freshman year can literally determine whether or not you go into medical school, and a lot of pre-meds don't realize that. The reality of a pre-med student is understanding that you may not be able to go to every party that your friends are going to, right? You may not be able to go to every event. You may not be able to hang out with them as often as you want to. You may not be able to go on traveling trips as much as they want to. You may not be able to lounge around and just relax and chill as much as they are, or as much as you would want to. You're not able to do those things. And obviously we have geniuses that can balance both. And I know someone like that who went to every party, every event, and was still got the top of his class. How he did that, who knows? But that wasn't my reality. And so a lot of times I noticed that there are a lot of pre-med students that fail out their freshman year. Sophomore year, they fail out. And then they switch to a different major, and then their junior year, their senior year, you see them in whatever major they're at the top of their class, and they say, oh, this major was just better for me, pre-med wasn't really cutting it. No, I don't think so. I think pre-med could have cut it. It's just that as a freshman and a fresh 18-year-old, 17-year-old, you don't realize how heavy of a weight you put on your back. And it's very important to realize that. As a pre-med student, you need to realize that across those 4 years that you're in undergrad, you're not here to play. And that's quite simple. You're not here to play. The only time you can play is after you've got the job done. You need to realize you need to prioritize getting the job done, and play comes after. Play doesn't come before, it comes after, okay? And so as a pre-med student, you gotta realize you're making a sacrifice. While others can go to college and do whatever it is that they wanna do and just say, you know what, college was a blast. I had so much fun. It was easy, it was simple, I did whatever I want. It was just a breather. You can't do that, okay? At least you shouldn't. At least, unless, like I said, you're a super genius, which most of us aren't, but I could just be speaking for myself. You cannot do that. Your pre-med year is literally an opportunity for you to show your grit, to show your tenacity, to show your desire, your willpower to get it, to take yourself to the next level. And that's what your pre-med year is for. And so when you want to be a pre-med student, you have to be realistic. I'm committing these next 4 years of undergrad to dedication, to strong will, to heart, in order to get myself to the next level. So I can't be distracted by everyone else doing X, Y, Z, because that's not my portion. My job, my goal is to get to medical school, to get to dental school, right? To get to PT school, to get to OT school, even chiropractor school. There's so many podiatry schools, so many different schools you can get to in healthcare. I didn't even name half of them. But the point is, that is your goal. And so the reality of your situation is you didn't come here to play, you came here to work, you came here to achieve a goal, and you need to do what it takes in order to get that goal. And so that's something I wish I knew when I was a pre-med student. And obviously, you know, I got to it eventually. You have time. Like there's no, you know, it's never too late, I would say. I got that reality check the second semester of my sophomore year. And since then, I was on this kick to try to just, you know, do the best. And even then, I still got distracted along the ways because I really didn't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is these classes that I'm taking, when I choose to skip a class, when I choose to not do the homework, when I choose to, you know, fall asleep during the lab, when I choose to just avoid it in general, my responsibilities, I'm hurting my chances of getting into medical school. When you start in college as a pre-med, you have a 100% chance, right? Or ability, chance ability, whatever the, I don't know, I'm making up words at this point, but you have essentially an 100% capability of getting into medical school. Every class that you miss, every class that you fail, every homework you skip, every lab that you don't pay attention is decreasing that capability to the point where you can only hope that you still have a high capability of getting into medical school when it's all said and done. And that's the reality of you being a pre-med major. You have to keep these things in mind, okay? I don't want to make this video any longer than that, but just my thoughts and, you know, the way my head works about these things. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. I'll be happy to answer them, go into depth. You know, Femichebais, all socials, I'm literally just here to help and you be used as a resource for those. That way you hopefully don't make the same mistakes that I made. But the good thing is, even if you do make those mistakes that I did, you can still get accepted. And so, but don't don't use as an excuse to mess up. Like, please just do your best. But realize that when you're a pre-med student, you're not here to play. You're here to work and get the job done.